Hello and welcome back to the Monke Funk Podcast, Episode 7. I am the Red Cow Disease. I will be your host tonight. You can call me Joey as well. Um, I'll pass it off to Devan, I guess.
Hello. My name's Devan, or Jervin Slade, and I'm excited to be here.
And I am the fancy brain Austin Mold. How's it going?
Oh,
Very
how do you
good.
know?
You put some gusto in that one.
Nah.
Yeah, I really got to work on my title. It's Austin Fancy Brain Mold, but you know.
Yeah, I guess that's technically all of us. We need to
More projecting, more theatrics
more
around
more,
the introductions.
more charisma.
I mean,
Oh.
2 out of 3 of us were definitely theater kids, and the other was a speech and debate kid. So
That's actually true.
I think we got it covered.
Is it fair to call me a theater kid if I was in the stagecraft?
I thought you were in shows.
I was in one show. I was
It
in
counts.
3 shows.
It counts.
True.
If you had lines or had any form of ensemble vocalist,
I had a singing role, so I guess.
then it counts.
There you go. There you have it.
All right. Well, we got any fun plans this weekend?
Oh man.
Devin, do you want to answer or should I?
I mean, hey, you can answer. I'll elaborate maybe.
This will be great to timestamp the episode in the friend group history.
True.
Yeah, this is the calm before the storm. This weekend, we are recording Thursday night, and I will be having my bachelor party this weekend. It's very exciting. I have no idea what's happening
Go!
other than like a trip to a town near us. That's all. So, anywho, Devin is the best man. He's been my homie for a long, long time, and he's either an evil genius or just a genius, honestly. From what I hear, you've got some good shit going.
I've got a few ideas. I think we'll have some fun. That's to say the least. I think we're definitely not going to be bored. We're going to have a lot of things to do. So, and we're even going to have things that may be unexpected, depending on just how things go. So,
We're also going to have things not to do, you know?
yeah, that's very true as well.
No, only things to do. Yep.
You got to keep it tasteful, you know?
Anything's tasteful if you lick it, you know?
Let's just say Chance had several ideas for me.
Oh no.
And
all of them.
let me just say, I'm pretty sure I denied every single one of them.
I'm gonna need you to send me some of those ideas. I'm actually really curious.
I mean,
yeah, I'll let you know.
From what he told me, yeah, I appreciate that.
Oh my god, man.
We're going to see if Chance...
It was funny because it was almost like it was bartering. Like he would be like, "What if we did this?" And I was like, "I have received like specific instructions not to have that be a part of the festivities." And he's like, "Okay, well then what if we did this?" And it was just like a diluted version of like what he originally said.
Oh my god!
I'm just like, no. And then after a while, I just fucking dodo walled him because he was like, he kept at it, and I was like, dude, I'm not even gonna worry.
Sorry, Chance.
Sorry for dodo walling you.
Sorry, Chance.
Big dog.
I'm sorry we're recording this and talking about you without you being here. We understand
Right.
you're busy.
It'll be
However-
fine once we get past the bachelor party, you know?
Yeah,
This will also
once you-
prove if Chance watches our podcast.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
do! I give us views!
Yeah, same.
I don't watch it back. I'm not gonna lie.
That's fine, you know.
I don't get high. I don't get high on my own supply. You know.
Here's the thing. I have to for editing, and then I do it again to make sure everything went well on the upload.
That's true.
That's fair. That's fair.
So you're watching it more than anybody, probably.
Sometimes I'm just
Oof.
like, hey, that was a really funny joke. I gotta see that again.
I gotta watch that one again. That was pretty good.
Yeah. So
Anybody currently watching, drop a like. This is a threat.
I don't think we're legally or even like physically able to do that.
This is a threat.
They've been warned.
Good job, bud.
What are they going to prosecute me for saying it's a threat? What am I threatening them with? Huh? It's just a threat.
You got a point there.
Ah.
No, it's speaking of the wedding process though. Today I got fitted for a custom suit.
Hey.
Your
shit.
boy is rolling down that aisle with a dusty rose suit.
Whoa.
I gotta tell you, I love my pinks, man. But like, it's like that dark, almost maroon pink, but not like full on wine purple, you know?
Right.
So I'm excited.
I'm going to be standing up there as a groomsman with a gnome outfit on.
Yeah, by the way, Austin, all the groomsmen will be dressed as gnomes, apparently.
Well, it's a good thing you're not standing up there because
As
we
long as
decided not to do that.
Oh,
Actually, the only one that is standing up there is you, Devin, because you're best
I'm
man.
sorry to say,
We're only
Devin.
doing best man and maid of honor. We gave
All right,
you
Devin.
all the fun of being groomsmen and bridesmaids, but without the like dedication or like the responsibility.
this
Which
is for
means
the
I can dress
resume.
which means like I can dress as a gnome. As long as I'm in the proper color scheme, right?
I mean, there's a level of formality that we're hoping for. I mean, if you can pull it off, by God, Lord bless you.
I would also like to say the color range you described and sent images of is the exact range that I'm very colorblind about.
Oh no!
So I apologize in advance.
Oh,
I'm going
no.
to just clash horribly.
Oh
no!
no! I'm so sorry.
They all just like blend together a little, so I'll think they're the same color, and it'll be like one's very green
Look,
and one's
I was
very
gonna
red.
say, you're gonna be rolling up in some chartreuse fucking tuxedo.
if you
We're gonna
need
be like,
to just go
It's not
black,
that bad.
if you need to go black, please do. Like,
Well, then I might not go back, you know?
That's what they
hey,
said.
that's on you, man. If dead ass, if you need to just do black slacks with a white button up, and we will get you the tie that works with it. Don't worry.
I would love to be gotten a tie. That would be
No, we're getting all the groomsmen a matching tie. We're
Okay,
gonna have
at
our
least that.
photos. I will get that color for you. Don't worry.
oh,
I'm just
That's
gonna
not
hand you
sure.
the tie one day and be like, "Listen, go find a suit that is this."
go find a suit that is this. Picks out an incorrectly colored suit.
It looks the exact same to you.
I'm not kidding. A lot of like darker foresty greens blend into browns, and the same with like burgundies and like that kind of red. All blend back into the browns.
Damn.
So I
you
could make
you got the like high fantasy color blindness. Damn.
yeah. I have the exact perfect color blindness to where camouflage clothing works exceptionally well on me, and I never knew this until like last year.
Sheesh, man.
Oof.
I am genuinely sorry about that. I did not know.
I find it hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Oof. All right.
So,
Well, I think it's about time we move into the topic for the night.
Yeah, let's do it.
I like
Which
this
is-
topic.
Yeah, I felt enlightened when this topic came to mind. Favorite early 2000s cartoon? Late 90s, early 2000s ish. You know, the classics. Nostalgic for us, which is depressing that was 20 years ago, at least.
Dude. Don't
Ugh.
get older,
True.
kids. Just
Real.
Getting older is great until you realize it's not.
This is a small tangent, and I'm gonna pick on you, Devin. You were on your stream the other night, and you were saying, "Don't get old, kids. Once you turn 26, just stop." I I very much wanted to go into your chat and say, "That's right. Hit 26, and then." And I was like, that's a little dark. I probably shouldn't say that. That's probably TOS on Twitch.
Editor, bleep that part out of the podcast.
Bro, oh my god, the worst part is if you did, I would have started like cracking up and everybody would have thought I was a piece of shit.
It's fine.
It's objectively just kind of a little funny.
It's like got even like for me, it's got even nothing to do with the actual like the context or the significance of the message. It's just our type of humor. You know?
Turn 26 and then KOIS.
Well, that's what I mean. Like our generation, we go through the most minor inconvenient. You know, like I dropped. Here's a. I'm gonna try to make this short because I'll go about this all day. But
we'll get on topic. But
yeah, we'll get back on topic.
The nostalgia just got that for me.
Literally this past Monday, dude, it was like 2 a.m. and I don't know why, but I was just like, I've got a really mad craving for some like baked beans. And so I went into my pantry, I got some baked beans, I heated them up, I got the bowl, but it was like really fucking hot. So I was like, oh shit. So I like kind of like tried to grab like as little of the bowl as possible and like speed run to my room because I'm stupid and didn't just grab a freaking paper towel and bury it like that. And so here I am, like barely hanging onto this bowl of baked beans that are piping hot, and I'm speed walking to my room, and I almost fucking make it to my desk, and I drop the bowl. I literally fucking spilt the beans.
He spilled the beans.
He spilled fucking beans.
He spilled the fucking beans. But right when I fucking did that, I literally went, "Oh my god, I'm going to."
Oh man.
We'll experience the most life-changing negative experience ever and go,
this is fine.
Fuck it, we ball.
Real.
And then you stub your toe slightly, and it's not even like very badly, and you're like, I'm gonna die.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
Myself. Oh my god, man.
God.
Yeah, so that's why I think that's funny.
Well, I think talking about our generation, we can harken back to the topic easily.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because these cartoons are what made our generation like that.
Dude, oh god, there's so many good ones.
I know. It's hard for me to pick just one. I might have to maybe do two, which might make more sense anyway, since we're down a man. So
yeah, no problem. We're chilling. We're vibing.
Sure.
So, Devin, I'll let you go first. You know,
if you have two, go first and then go fourth.
Exactly.
All right. Well,
bookend us.
I'll probably think of a second one by that time because, like I said, let's be honest, we had some options back in our day. So
I've got two as well, but like it's in different veins. But anyways, go.
Sure. Okay, so I'm just gonna release my ace up the sleeve here. Just put all the money going all in on this one. Okay, so hands down, I thought of a lot of different cartoons, right? I thought, which ones did I spend a lot of time watching? Which ones do I have a lot of fond memories of, et cetera, et cetera. And one just happened to stand out, especially since we're going more for the early 2000s vibe. And that cartoon I picked, and I really hope I didn't pick one of y'all's, because this is kind of a niche pick, I'll be honest, but it's also like secretly a banger amongst a lot of people our generation, like our age. My pick is Code Lyoko, bro.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit.
Dude, I had to, man. I had to. That was my fucking shit. I watched Code Lyoko every day after I got home from school. I watched it on the weekends. Anytime, when I was sick, anytime it was playing, I was like sure as hell going to be watching it, right? Um, and I just loved it, man. I thought it was really, really cool. For those of you who haven't seen Code Lyoko, I'll kind of try to summarize it as best as I can. It's been a while. But it's just basically a story of a bunch of kids. I would say probably, I don't know, like junior high
They're
age, something like
preteen for
that.
sure.
Preteen, yeah.
Definitely
And
12, 13 ish.
yeah, yeah. And I think, if I'm remembering correctly, they stumble across this like computer lab, but it's not like a computer lab. It's like a lab, but it's got a supercomputer in it or whatever.
It's more
And
like
they,
a warehouse.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of a warehouse vibe, but it's got this like supercomputer in it, and it's like it's all wired, and you've got these humongous cables and shit. And anyways, they essentially dematerialize themselves and then rematerialize themselves in this digital world. Was the was the world called Lyoko?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking to someone that watched the entire show on Netflix when they were 14, bud.
Oh shit. Yeah, well that's the problem is I am purely talking from like nostalgia because I literally last time
Absolutely.
I watched it I was a kid. So I was like I need to rewatch them to be honest with you. That would actually be an
It's
insane
so
nostalgia trip.
good.
Group
That would
Code
be
Lyoko
insane.
rewatch.
Dude, I'm down.
Ayo.
Hey, yo. But yeah, man. And then obviously like I don't think I have to like say that this is kind of implied, but dude, that theme song banger.
Oh, it's going
Fucking
through my head.
True.
fucking banger. Like I don't care if it's kind of like it's kind of like looking back, it's kind of cringe, it's kind
It's
of.
not.
But I don't give a fuck, bro. I will belt that theme song anywhere, anytime, any place. Yeah, it's
Fringe is
just
to be free.
it's just solid.
It's
So,
true, man. No,
but it was just I don't know. It struck me as one of those like those series that like if you were a gamer in any shape or fashion, you were probably more than likely going to be into this game or into this show. So
Sword Art Online, but better.
in French.
Honestly.
yeah,
French.
yeah, and that's right. It was French.
Weirdly enough, yeah, it was from a
French is-
French animation studio.
Yeah.
Even though it's
Honestly-
very Japanese.
Mhm.
The two good things the French have given us: Code Lyoko and the guillotine.
Yes.
I mean,
It's
I like
so true.
baguettes, but you know,
Baguettes are
It's
good too.
it's just bread.
I mean, bread's
It's
pretty
just-
good. I
it's
mean,
just-
anyways,
It's just bread.
I think
No,
you just upset
dude.
a whole bunch of French people right then. I'll keep it real.
Oh well, if I can alienate our French audience right now, I will. Speak a
Yeah.
better language.
Shade. Dang, yo.
Oh, thank you for Code Lyoko, though, French people.
Agreed.
You really,
it
you
fucking
really cooked with
slaps.
that one.
I remember watching as a kid too, dude. Like it was
Yeah.
just one of those like, you know, it came on after school. It looked interesting. Like you said, the theme song slapped.
Right?
There was also that allure because it does 2D animation when they're in the real world and not the cyber world of Lyoko.
Mhm.
But when they go to Lyoko, they're in like 3D animation. So like,
Yeah.
it's just so fucking cool that they do that. And I
It
don't
is
know.
cool.
Especially
It
when you're a
is
kid,
cool.
like those graphics just I don't know. They scratch an itch, I guess. So
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it just fed into the like fantasy, the I don't know, just the world being not the real life world, it being a digital virtual kind of place that's totally different. But it was like I don't know, it was cool. It was cool that there's different biomes, like an actual video game, and
Yeah.
the characters had different like specialties in terms of like their weapon types and what they were skilled at. I don't know. It's just fucking cool. It's like D&D almost. Like
yeah,
you
right.
So,
So-
Code Lyoko D&D campaign win.
Oh,
Hey man,
I'll DM it, bro.
someone's
Oh.
got to do it. Someone's probably done it. Excuse me.
I would hope so.
No, that would actually slap. I'd be so down. But yeah, man. Number one has to be Code Lyoko. I'm pretty sure it was released in 2003. So
Yeah, it was definitely in that early to mid 2000s. What's really fun is they actually did do a sequel series like I don't know, probably 2014 onwards. It was all in French and no English dub ever happened of it. So like if you want to watch it you can. I will warn you though, the whole real world being animated gone. It's all live action now.
I
But then
see. I see.
Lyoko is still 3D animated.
Interesting. Interesting.
So,
Huh.
anyways.
I might have to check it out one of these days if I got nothing else going on.
I did not know about the sequel.
Yeah, I didn't
The
either.
sequel series.
Not many people do.
Uh,
So,
Hmm.
cool, man. I like that.
Yeah.
the only character I remember is Odd for some reason. The
Yeah,
cat
I mean,
boy.
he's a very memorable character.
He is. Odd, I think, was my favorite character, to be
I
honest
can't
with you.
remember any of the other characters' names. It's just Odd.
It's Yumi, Ulrich, Jeremy, Aelita.
Yep, that's
Ooh.
right.
Yeah.
Damn. Man, you pulled that out like nothing. I was like
Dude,
trying
I
to
remember this
struggle.
show. Like, I watched it as a teenager. What do you want from me?
I was
You
going to
did-
say, you've
oh,
got
yeah,
the,
you did
you've got the
rewatch it, yeah.
recency buff. That's true.
Dang.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Gotta
I-
rebuff.
Obviously not anymore, because, children. But when I was younger, watching this show, I had a crush on Aelita. Like, I don't know. She
Oh,
did
yeah,
it for
no.
me back then,
That's the
Oh,
one
dude.
in the computer program, right?
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
The pink hair.
the pink
Yeah.
hair, yeah. Oh, she like as a kid, like
I understand
she's
that,
cute,
yeah.
man.
Again,
Yeah.
not now. Children.
Right.
Obviously.
Right. No, we're very clear on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah, God, you flashed me back, man. That was a good one.
I know it's the one that a lot of people don't originally like go to or think of,
Mhm.
and then you just pull that out of this like hidden box that you have in your memory, and you're like, holy shit, So,
Well, now you want to make me change my answer, so it's more insane.
oh my bad.
Reaching from the depths of the mind.
Here, I'll
Sure,
balance you out here, and
Ooh,
I'll let you.
nah. I'm gonna stick with my choice.
Do you want me to go ahead, Joey?
Oh, I can go ahead and go
Okay.
if we really wanted to. Mine's not really a deep dive like that. Mine's probably more of like a normal. Most people would say this, or at least remember this, or consider this. Courage the Cowardly Dog.
That's a good one.
Oh,
I cannot
yeah.
experience other horror content quite the same as when I was a child and watched the Return the Slab episode.
Yeah, yeah.
It's still, the only thing that actually scares me is the idea of something standing outside of a window and staring at me in fog. Anything else is just
Yeah.
like, I can ignore it. That show did psychological damage to me, and I will rewatch it and have rewatched it.
Dude, I feel
Yeah.
you.
It's just
Yeah,
such a good
for
show.
sure. That was like probably a lot of our like first introduction to quote unquote horror. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
it was like horror for kids. It was like,
And they'll go in
Yeah.
so many directions too.
oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah. And truthfully, like I look back at it, and sometimes I'm like, holy shit, how did they like?
Get
How
away
did they
with
allow
this.
this?
Yeah.
Right?
The domestic
It was-
abuse episode, like, bruh.
I know. It's
Yeah.
like, whoa, what the hell?
What the hell? No,
Right.
alright. The one that got me, it wasn't really horror. It just made me sad. It was the one that explored like Courage's origin, where his parents get blasted off to the
That's-
moon. Dude,
That's literally the last
sobbed.
episode.
I
I'm pretty sure.
sobbed when I saw that shit. It was
Yeah.
awful.
That is awful. I kind of remember that too now.
Yeah, it's very depressing. And then Eustace and Muriel almost get sent as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like he has to
Uh.
relive that trauma. Like Courage cuts deep, man.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
you'll have shit like Mr. Lecquac,
We love
Mhm.
another French.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Another French.
Don't trust the French, or do
Yep.
with animation.
Le Quack.
Ah,
With Clint Lyoko, you could trust them.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, man, I remember a lot of those episodes, and yeah,
Uh,
no, it
if
was
it
like
like
creepy. It was pretty
th-
creepy.
this was an obvious answer for me to put out because if you ever like go and look at any of my stream VODs, the opening, the like stream starting soon card is just time is money GIF edited onto the Courage the Cowardly Dog TV.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, I learned how to video edit just for that,
Oh my god,
and
man.
yeah,
That's
I
some
learned
I made it
dedication
into
right
a
there.
GIF. Yeah,
Yeah, a little not depressing, but it was just kind of like, oh man. I watched Scooby Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like it was released within the last few years. It's on
yeah,
Max, and
I watched that too.
Courage's voice is not the same. Like it is the original voice actor, and you can tell he is mostly there, but it's just not quite.
You see,
Um,
I didn't like that. I didn't like that special. I liked the concept. I was excited for it,
yeah,
and then I watched
absolutely.
it, and they tried to explain why so much weird stuff happens in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
They gave an
yeah,
actual reason, and I'm like, this
bruh.
this doesn't feel right.
It should have been left a mystery, honestly.
Yeah,
Like just it. Fuck this town. They're just they're
it's in
just
the
weird
middle of
like that.
nowhere. Ah. Ooh.
So true. So
I
true.
would. Sometimes I just think of the episode with the carrot, the big carrot.
Carrot.
Do you remember the big carrot?
It's ringing
Grow,
a bell, but
Yeah.
grow, expand, explode, grow. The carrot's just sitting there saying that the entire episode until Courage eats the carrot. Oh, every episode is iconic in its own way. I feel like.
or like the foot fungus that takes over
Oh,
Eustace. That's a gangster.
Yeah,
Oh my
see,
god.
we're gonna knock over a bank. See,
I got another plan. See, yeah,
see.
another plan.
Oof, cats,
Yeah, literally,
cats.
dude. The Scooby Doo and Courage. The villain is just cats and LeQuack.
Yeah.
It's like, bruh.
Like, how did you manage that?
uh,
Oof.
I mean, yeah, no, I like that pick. It
Yeah.
definitely brought a lot of horror to young children, but somehow just enough to not traumatize you that much,
Well,
unless you're Joey and Fog.
I feel like most of the episodes also had like decent life lessons
Yeah,
attached towards the end for Courage to learn.
That's true. That's a
Except
good
for the
point.
Return the Slab episode, which is just kind of don't steal artifacts. I think every British person needs to watch that episode.
or like
Oh,
there's
there
the
you have it.
episode where Eustace gets cursed and like he has to learn to actually have empathy for someone,
Uh,
even if it's just like magically him imposing that empathy on himself. It's
yeah. Oof.
Mm.
I'm looking at the episode list right now.
Also, the Return the Slab episode, wasn't the monster in that 3D animated?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
so
was
it's
like 3D
worse.
animated on a 2D.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's more unsettling because of that.
Yeah, and it's like that early 2000s. We just got 3D animation technology.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we just got it in TV. In movies, it was
Yeah.
getting pretty standardized, but yeah, like once it got to TV, it was over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
Well,
Well,
I
what you got?
I'm
What you
gonna
bring?
I'm gonna stick on brand here. Do you know Kingdom Hearts had a TV pilot? No. I'm not gonna do that.
When you walk away.
No, I am going to stick somewhat on brand with you guys, and also go into Cartoon Network. Um, there you can get a dartboard of all the shows from 2000 to like 2007 of Cartoon Network, and it would be a gold mine. you have like Kids Next Door, Ed and Nettie, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. The one that like really stood out, and I know it's a very mainstream pick because it went on to be a very successful franchise for Cartoon Network. Ben 10.
Yeah,
That
Oh,
that show was the shit if you were a boy from like 2006 to 2009.
yeah.
Like
that's true.
every boy at that point, American boy, I should say, they had an Omnitrix. You know it. Like, or they wanted it at the very least. Like, like that toy was just there in that Target or Walmart or wherever, and you had to have that. And I
Man.
had one.
Oh,
That show was just
I
so.
never had one.
Show was just so good, and like it's like you were saying, Joey. There were life lessons for Ben to learn, cause like he's 10 fucking years old, and he's having to save the planet, or in some cases the universe. Like, bruh. So like I really like that show for that kind of lessons of maturing with this power that you have. Now, he's still 10 years old. He's still going to have some moments where it's like you used Ghost Freak to break into a Sumo Slammer video game preview demo. Okay, that's real smart. But they let him be a kid still, and I think that's why it gravitated towards kids so much is because like they saw themselves in his shoes and they did relate to him on that level. But then you also got to learn the valuable lessons of, I mean, ironically enough, with great power does come great responsibility, and you have to use that power in the correct way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
and
absolutely.
and plus, having 10 aliens to transform into, that let the creators be very creative with how they were going to use them.
I
For
like how it
sure.
would sometimes just, or most of the time, I think, pick random aliens for him.
Yeah,
Eh,
100%. Like, he would try to use forearms so much, and then it would turn him into fucking, like, wild mutt. And it's like, well, this wasn't what I expected. Guess I gotta be creative on how I use this.
right. And it shows you can't always be prepared or get what you want in every situation, but you can still come out on top.
And you can still improvise and be prepared.
Yeah.
Like there was one time he was trying to turn into Heat Blast, and then he got turned into Ripjaws. Like polar opposites here. One
Yeah.
has to stay hydrated, and the other is literal fire. So it's like, ugh, what do I do with this?
Yeah, I like the creativity of Ben 10, to be honest with you. The abilities that the aliens had and the just the situations he had to endure through. I don't know. I thought it was good. I thought it was good. It was a good show.
And again, it went on to like have sequel series after sequel series after sequel series, a couple of live action movies. It was the shit. It truly was the shit. So,
No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
And I agree with what you said about how it had a really big influence too on like marketing, for example,
yeah.
because you're
Yeah.
right. I remember a whole bunch of kids my age were, they had the oh fuck it, you just said
The
it.
Omnitrix.
The Omnitrix,
The
yes, good lord.
watch! The fucking
The
watch!
yeah, the fucking watch, the Ben 10 watch. Yeah, exactly. They had that, and it was just so popular, and that's how you could tell it was a really significant show at the time. So
I mean, children's television anymore, if you don't have a toy line, what are you doing with yourself? But
exactly,
that's where most of their money comes from. Like,
Yeah.
that's why it's so important when people have to realize that, oh, Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, or the film rights to Spider-Man, but Disney owns the merchandising rights, which is where most of the money comes from anyway. So,
right? Yeah. No,
Is-
exactly.
That's why shows like Young Justice got canceled, I'm pretty
yep,
sure.
they didn't
Just-
have enough
mm,
toy sales, so they flopped.
uh, Too much of their audience was young girls, which they didn't know how to market to, even though it's pretty similar
Wait,
to how you
really?
market to any other child.
I didn't know
Yeah.
their primary audience were young girls.
Well, not primary. It was just a larger portion than
I mean, that's great. Like,
normal. Yeah,
love that for the
fantastic.
young females. Like there were a
And
lot of good female role models in that show.
yeah, but this is a superhero show. How do we
Yeah,
market superheroes to
a
girls?
superhero show with very mature themes. Actually, what?
Yeah, like Young Justice season 1 and 2 are also great. They're not early 2000s, but
They were late 2000s, I
yeah,
believe, and then their newer seasons were like from the last like 5 years. So
yeah.
I liked
But
season 3. Season 4 got a little weird, but like they still had some good moments. But
well,
anyways,
season 3 was Judas Contract. How can you not like Judas Contract? Let's
yeah.
make Judas Contract again. Uh, Ben 10 always felt fresh. They always had, even the sequel series had like,
Oh yeah, dude.
I like how in, what was it, Ultimate Alien or whatever,
Yes.
Kevin 11 was now one of the heroes.
Oh, it was before that even. It was Alien
Was it?
Force.
Oh.
Yeah, Alien Force. He became a hero, and
Yeah.
he had a few like kind of anti-hero vibes to him. But
He was
like,
the bad boy.
yeah, but Ultimate Alien I really liked because of the ultimate forms that some of these guys would get, and then they ditched that shit for Omniverse, and that's when I fell off. But anyways,
Yeah.
that's getting way later. That's like late 2000s to early. There's a new term
Yeah.
for it. I call it the tens, but like I know there's a different term for it now.
I say we should call it the Dimes.
That's what it is. I'm pretty sure.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes. No way.
I might need to double check that. I'm probably too old to figure it out, but like it's something like that, a slang term for the 2010s. But yeah, Ben 10, like I don't know what it was, but like that original series just hit a chord different for me when it was, and I know it's not quite early 2000s. I think it was like 2006, so it's technically mid, but it all blends together at some point.
Right?
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
So I'm gonna name another pick, and I'm gonna let
Go for it.
Devan talk on this one. You might not be prepared, or you might definitely be prepared. But a show that I really love that is from the 2000s. I'm not necessarily nostalgic for it because I watched it after the fact, but it's a very popular choice. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude. Like I said, I
Oh
am
yeah.
not as nostalgic for it. I do think it is a phenomenal show. I watched it like again, probably in the last, 8 years or so. Like that was my first time viewing it. And I was like, "Oh my god, this is so good."
Watching Sozin's Comet when it came out, oh,
Right?
Yeah.
that was good. It was like
That
2 hours. It was an entire feature-length film when they released it.
That was a pretty significant time. I do remember
Uh,
that. I do remember that. But yeah, man, Avatar. That's crazy. I can't believe I didn't think of that. I was getting ready to say
I was ready for you to have it, but I was like, "Hey,
I've been
he
sitting
decided
here
to go with
thinking
Code Lyoko
about.
instead."
Right? I've been sitting here thinking, oh god, I got what other cartoon am I going to pick? And I didn't even think about that. So
Was
that's
that
awesome.
early 2000s or was that more mid?
that
think
was
it was-
early.
I think it was
Uh-huh.
2005. I want to say, so it was kind of mid, not mid 2000.
The show's not mid, but
It's
show's-
not
the show's not
mid.
mid.
It's
The show's-
definitely
yeah,
not
no.
mid.
Show's definitely not mid. No,
Legend of
yeah,
Korra,
2005.
it gets like that sometimes, but
sure.
It goes
No,
back
man,
and
but, like,
forth.
it goes back and forth for sure. But no, I loved Avatar, dude. Avatar: The Last Airbender was an awesome show.
you still love
just
it. I can
put
tell
it
you
plainly.
that.
Oh yeah, dude. I love that show. I mean, a lot of the elements that we've been talking about kind of fit right in, especially with um, life lessons, right? Morals to the story, that kind of thing.
Relating to a
Um,
child that is the main character.
Yes, relating to a child and their energy, the lightheartedness, and there was a lot of like teenager stuff going on too. A lot of like teenage anger. With like Zuko, for example. Like and
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a lot of kids at a lot of different ages that related to some character one way or another, you know.
Yeah.
But it was just a really, really well made show. I mean, they really put a lot of detail and a lot of thought into making the show, and they did it in a way that also kind of, I want to say, almost unified. Um, you would made an attempt to speak a message about unification of nations, right? Which is
Right.
something that you don't see a lot of, in my opinion, in terms of, or at least in cartoons. You know, I mean, this was literally a cartoon that was talking about making peace among nations. I mean, that's pretty like that's pretty far out. You know,
It's
like
huge too, especially
yeah.
now.
Well, that's what I
Yeah.
mean. It's like, wow, what if that, was a thing that happened like during the time we're in now, because especially with our country, it's more divided than it has been in years past, without a doubt. So I don't know. It just makes one wonder. Like, um, I don't know. It's like, man, I think a lot of the politicians that we have should have watched Avatar, man.
Dude,
Well, yeah,
To
when
learn
they were
something.
younger. Yeah.
You know?
imagine in like 50 years when Gen Z finally gets to go to office and we're like, "Hey man, like you got to get some Uncle Iroh in you. This is whack."
Right? Exactly. Exactly. You
It's
sitting there and you're like, Uncle Iroh would never, bro.
it's giving Admiral Zhao.
Yeah, yeah, real. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. You got
Kind of
this
Ozai of you.
you got kind of an Ozai thing going on, and I'm not really here for it.
You're serving Ozai. I need you to bring it down to like at least a Boomy, okay?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, no,
Oh
I
my
loved
god,
it.
Boomy was a boomer. Oh no.
Oh
Oh
no.
no.
He was like
Ah.
112.
Yeah, fuck, bro,
No
but
one was
he
able to explain how he lived so long. It's because he was jacked.
No, it's because he could bend all of the lead out of his system.
That's true.
yes, I
No,
guess.
no lead
No,
poisoning
wait.
for him.
Wait, Toph was the first metal bender.
Oh, that's true.
That's
You're
true.
right.
He actually claims she is stronger than him, and that it's because of that.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
No,
No, go
okay.
ahead.
So I was just saying he definitely lived forever because he worked out and was jacked. Like, dude
Right?
pushed his body every single day.
Bro literally ate just a straight up piece of lettuce,
Yeah,
man. Like he
he ate
Yeah.
rocks.
yeah, that's the secret. He ate rocks, dude.
Rocks and lettuce.
Rocks and lettuce. That's all you need, man.
Rocks and cabbages.
You live to be like 112 years old, probably more. Yeah, that's actually insane. No, there's a lot of, and that's the cool thing too, is like there was a lot of like character development in that show, and there was a lot of really cool and interesting characters, even if they weren't like significant main characters. For example, kind of like all the, like, for instance, all the masters that are in the White Lotus, for example, like
Yeah,
those were cool characters. You know,
dude.
I don't think
Yeah.
there was a single one of them that I was like, yeah, these guys are kind of mid. Like they're fucking cool. You
Even
know?
non-benders. The swordsman was in that.
Yes.
Ian
Yeah.
Dow, yeah.
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 Hell yeah, dude. Oh yeah, and I mean the Kyoshi Warriors, badass.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. They just did a really really good job with making that show. Um,
Well,
and
even
I'll be
like
honest too. Like a lot of people don't initially like talk about this, but like I thought the humor was fucking on
Oh,
point.
It
in
was
that
good,
show, too. Oh my god, I can't tell you how many times in that show even now I look back and I'm just cracking myself up, or not cracking myself up, but I'm cracking up at the jokes that they made. It was
between
funny.
like Sokka, Momo, Appa, and Iroh, dude, they were covered on humor.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Cabbage Man, you can't forget the
You
cabbage.
can't forget it.
Well, Well, that's
Talk
yeah,
about a running gag, man.
yeah, exactly.
I also think it did really well with its world building too. Like when they
Agreed.
traveled the world, you knew I, how do I put this? Like when they were in the swamplands and there were waterbenders bending the moisture in plants, like it just you saw a brand new culture, even though it was still waterbenders. They were a different kind of waterbenders. And like Southern Water Tribe, very different from the Northern Water Tribe. Earth
Hmm.
Kingdom, gigantic. So many different people to meet there.
Hmm.
So yeah. It
No,
also
that's
it also had
true.
its dramatic moments, like when we got to the first air temple and they're all dead.
Yeah, yeah, that was indeed
Uh,
a wee bit dramatic.
there were touched on some very heavy themes in the show.
No, they really did. They really
I,
did.
I cannot think of another kids show that touched on the topic of genocide
Dude.
like Avatar did.
I can't either. Come to think of it, no, they covered a lot of deep topics. That's probably why I turned out so fucking philosophy minded. Whenever I don't know, I just I loved watching Uncle Iroh talk about things and the wisdom that he shared. There's also a lot of spiritual stuff that they
Yeah.
touched on in that series. You know, with the guru, for example, talking about the chakras and things like that. That was pretty insane.
Truly
So yeah,
a goated
good
show.
pick. Oh yeah, no, that's good.
I need to rewatch Avatar now. Oh no. Where can I watch it? Netflix or something, I guess?
I think
It's
it's
on
still on
Netflix.
Netflix.
You can
Oh,
watch the live
jeez.
action version on Netflix.
I heard they cut Sokka being sexist, which is like part of his character arc, is he learns to not be sexist.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. It's
This is true.
fine. It's better than M. Night Shyamalan's version.
wait, which version? I don't know what you're talking about.
M- M- I just suddenly forgot, actually, now that you mentioned
Yeah,
Did
me
did you
too.
say did you say anything?
it. What Avatar the Last Airbender?
Gee whiz.
Well, Joey, did you have a second pick that you
Uh,
had?
just Avatar.
Oh, well,
Let
our,
me
all of our second pick is Avatar.
yeah, let me. Here we go. This is a good one. Samurai Jack.
Oh, that is
Ooh,
a good one.
yeah.
I had to look up when it came out real quick.
It was early,
Uh,
yeah.
I was 2001,
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow. Well, there
which
you
is
go.
honestly I thought it was like 1998 or something. This is news to me.
Yeah,
But
I didn't watch it
but
much, but I remember it being on and people going crazy over it.
I watched a lot of it, and I remember getting in trouble when the first time my parents saw me watching it, and they're like, "This is incredibly violent. You can't watch this."
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but it's cool.
Right?
It's
Right?
cool. I had to go back and rewatch it all, and it's even better
when I
watching it like in order because I had never seen the very first episode that like sets the stage for everything until then. It, like he travels the entire world to learn every martial art and then goes back to kill the embodiment of evil and is sent into the future. Like, come on.
Dude, I was literally about to discuss that. So like I didn't watch the show, but like I know a bit of the premise from Death Battle cuz they review the character's history. Dude learned from every culture imaginable. He
Yeah.
learned wrestling. He learned to jump good. Like if
He
you
goes
can
into the,
imagine it, he learned it and I'm like that's fucking cool but also fucking terrifying from a
people say
samurai.
people say Batman is peak human. No, Batman would lose to Samurai Jack. It,
I agree.
In Death
I
Battle
like that's
rules,
not
you're
even
probably
controversial.
right. Yeah.
Uh, Samurai Jack literally taught himself how to like sense everything while in the darkness on the spot when he was fighting like the three blind Anubis archers. He just put a blindfold on and was like, "Yeah, okay, I have to fight like they do." And he learned on the spot how they fought, and he
So
beat them, and he won.
So my new guilty pleasure recently is like these AI generated voices of Batman doing contingency plans, and I really want to look up Samurai Jack and
Oh,
see how good he does. Because some of them, it's like, oh, that's actually pretty smart. If he was to
yeah.
have prep time, obviously. If we're talking like death battle rules, like they were just dropped in an arena and they just had to use what they had on hand. Samurai Jack's stomping Batman.
Yeah,
No
Right.
question.
like
Yeah.
even unarmed, completely hand to hand, which Batman is like famous for. I think Samurai Jack takes it
I think you're right. I mean,
because
they are both at the peak of learning martial arts. Batman's
here
learned a lot of them too, but Samurai Jack, I think, has learned all of them.
here's also the thing: is Samurai Jack excels at being caught off guard completely by somebody who is prepared to try and take him down.
It's true. That's a good
There,
point.
there, there's an entire episode that you don't see Jack until like the end of it that just discusses how this group of like intergalactic bounty hunters, the best bounty hunters in the galaxy, come together to take down this mark that this Lord of Evil is going to pay obscene amounts of money to get Jack taken down. Uh, he Samurai Jack takes them all down before a drop of water falls from a roof to the ground. It's
Dude,
insane.
that's insane.
Like, I'm sorry, Batman. Love you, dude. You're not him.
That's
You're losing
true.
here.
Hi, you're not him,
Samurai
bro.
Jack is built so unbelievably different.
It's so
He
true.
is the role model.
I think
Well,
when they analyzed his speed feats, it was like he can literally dodge faster than light, like an actual laser of light.
I would not be
Right.
surprised. I liked his entire character arc that they gave him in the last season too.
Yeah, I
Um,
knew about the last season. It was more dark, but I
yeah,
haven't watched it.
it was a lot more dark. I'm less nostalgic for it because it came out in like 2017 or something.
Right.
I'm not forgiving you, Rick and Morty. I remember what you did. I don't forgive you.
Oh,
April 1st, we were supposed to get an episode of the final Samurai Jack series, but it was April 1st, and they dropped the Rick and Morty episode 1 of the new season instead. I'll
oh,
never forgive you, Rick and Morty.
they were both on Adult
Oh,
Swim, so like
Yeah,
makes sense. But
but like
damn.
damn.
there was a
Right.
there was a very important point brought up in season 5, which was in the entire original run of the first 4 seasons. Samurai Jack never drew blood. He only ever like cut apart machines and things that weren't actually alive.
well,
Everything else, blunt damage, knockout, left alive.
well, yeah. You
Yeah.
literally that's TV censorship. Like Cartoon Network can't
Yeah.
have
And then
disembodiment.
and then in season 5, he cuts what he thinks a robot, and it's a person, and he has an entire existential crisis over it.
Right. Dang. Now you got me excited. I gotta watch
Ah.
Samurai Jack. That's
Well, yeah, I need to rewatch it. There's so many things I need to rewatch, which I'll have time to now. Woo!
Right. Really, really.
Ooh.
Well, I mean that's
Eh.
good stuff, y'all. I mean,
Speaking of Batman, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a third out there.
okay.
Teen Titans.
Oh, that was mine. But that's good. That's
We'll take
good.
it away then.
Well, no, I mean, I
Nah.
was just gonna say I really, really liked Teen Titans. Uh, where do I begin?
Oh, there's nowhere to begin. It's all good.
I know. I guess just like I don't know. Teen Titans is one of those was one of those shows where you kind of had an already established background with Batman and Robin and things like that, but you took like a kind of like a chunk out of that world, if you will, and then you turned it into the world of Teen Titans, and I don't know, it's just
Uh,
it's different. It was cool. Um, there was a lot of episodes that I remember watching, and I was like, "Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty awesome. That was pretty badass."
yeah.
Um, Also, will say I'm pretty sure Slade is one of my favorite, like evil nemesis
Yes.
individuals, like antagonist. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
He's probably one of my favorite like cartoon antagonists ever.
It's
I don't know
so
why.
menacing all the time.
He's just fucking He's
I
tough, and he's like I don't know.
I will never forgive DC for making me think Slade Wilson or Deathstroke is the coolest villain.
Yeah,
And then going to like look at him in any other media, and he's just so weak.
he's just this
Uh,
little
we're not
guy. Yeah,
we're not gonna discuss what he does to Terra in most Judas Contract versions.
right.
No thanks.
Please.
No.
That's why Teen Titans is the best adaptation of Judas Contract. Is that's not there.
Yeah,
Those undertones were not there. That was not implied at all.
Oh, thank God.
One of the things that people often forget about Teen Titans is that each member of the team had an overarching arc to like one main specific villain. Like they all had like their big bads, and obviously they're all supporting each other against those big bads. But like Robin, I mean, they all hated Slade, but like Robin especially, like
especially Robin,
had eyes for him. Like he was out to get his ass.
Wasn't there that episode where Robin was like having schizophrenic episodes about Slade?
Pretty sure, yeah.
I'm pretty sure
he
that
was
sounds
hallucinating.
familiar.
That was like the first episode I ever saw of Slade, and I thought, is this dude for real? Like, what the hell? But then like you had Beast Boy, who like he had his like old team that he was with, and so like he had a big arc against oh fuck, I forget his name, the Brain dude. Is it Dr. Brain? That's not right.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah,
I know Gorilla Grodd was in there, or some looking guy. But like he had that big arc with them. Starfire had her sister Blackfire. Cyborg had Brother Blood, and then we all know, of course, Raven had Trigon, which was like the big bad. You know,
like really big bad. Yeah.
So like they each got to shine in their own ways, you know, especially like, you know, Cyborg, like he had to deal with, am I human? Do I take this chance on becoming human again? It's just, it's so good. It's so rich.
No, it is. It is.
It competes with Avatar for like the depth of the themes to me.
Right.
I agree.
Avatar feels a lot more broad about finding your place in the world as a whole, and like, you know, and politics and all these heavy governmental themes of imperialism and genocide. And then Teen Titans is just finding who you are as a person. So, even though all that's going on, even though all those fights are happening, who are you specifically?
Who are you?
Who are you? Yeah, Iroh shouting, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
I'm gonna need an Avatar Teen Titans crossover like immediately. Different networks, so it'll never happen. But like, damn.
Avatar Teen Titans Samurai Jack crossover.
Oh God.
Holy shit. That would be kind of wild.
It would just be Samurai Jack in the end.
Real. Well, I was getting ready to say, this is kind of backtracking a little bit, but like, I think the lessons on discipline, like self-discipline in Samurai Jack were like, I would say almost unrivaled. The only thing that I would come to think of that would rival the messages about self-discipline, I mean, it has to be Naruto, hands down. But
yeah,
that's a whole different bag of monkeys. But
as much as I will talk bad about that last arc of Naruto, and as much as I will talk bad about the entirety of Boruto, really, the majority of Naruto is good.
Right. Yeah.
And like, it is just self-discipline versus self-service.
Right. Well, it just talks about the dynamic between, you know, talent and hard work, and how they coincide with one another, and how they, you know, how they each have their own pros and cons and shit like that. And which is another kind of just like sending a message, kind of moral of the story type beat that we're talking about, which ties into Teen Titans, right? I'm pretty sure they had a moral of the story kind of after each episode. That was kind of I don't want to say a common theme, because I think there's certainly cartoons out there that didn't really have a moral to the story after the episode, which is totally fine.
Ed, Ed, and
But
Eddie.
like, well,
What do you mean?
SpongeBob.
Ed, Ed and Eddie has many morals.
But
Life
I'm
has
not
many
saying
doors.
it's bad.
boy.
I'm just saying.
that's what I mean. Like, not to infer at all that it was bad, because we all, I mean, hell, I can't believe we've gone this long and haven't said a word about SpongeBob. I think it's almost, it was too obvious,
Yeah.
So we were all like, we're like,
Mr.
somebody else
Krabs
is
is
going to
in
talk
there.
about that.
Mr. Krabs is unfair. Standing at the concession,
That's
plotting his oppression.
That's a good point, though, Devin. Because, like, while SpongeBob, yes, has gone on and is still going on, my God, can they let that show die?
Please. The creators died and would hate what they've turned it into.
Yes, but, like, specifically that era of, like, I'm pretty sure that show aired in 1998 or 1999. And so it's like,
roughly.
it's
if not
as old
2000.
as we are.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like,
literally.
we definitely were the target audience for it growing up. And, like, that mid 2000s to, or excuse me, early to mid 2000s era of SpongeBob, I mean, it's unrivaled. You have so many goats in there, like band geeks. That is literally my favorite episode of SpongeBob ever. I will die on that hill. It is the best one. All of the jokes hit.
That's a good
no
one.
No matter how old you are, how many times you've heard them.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
So many fucking one-liners. So many
or
good,
like, kicking!
good
I want
quotes.
to do some kicking! What?
Oh God. When do we get free food? It's all kinds of one-liners in that one.
I'm pretty sure that last 10 seconds was all of us speaking muffled gibberish.
As it should. As it
Just
should be.
Different quotes.
Insert your favorite meme there.
Just rapid fire. Exactly. But that's what I mean. Like, SpongeBob didn't have to have a moral to the story, because it was
just fun.
Downright fun and funny. Like, it was kind of the pure definition, if you will, of a cartoon. You know?
Absolutely.
I agree.
So, I will never ever knock early SpongeBob, like Austin said. I've got different opinions about what SpongeBob has kind of become and turned into.
Everything up until the first movie, because they did say that is the canonical ending to SpongeBob.
No, for sure.
It's kind of like country music. It was really good in the beginning, and after a while, it's just the same shit.
It's
there.
Yeah, it's there.
Well, it was funny because you made the comment, can SpongeBob please, can this episode just die, or can this series just die? And I was about to make the comment being like, dog, it died a long time ago for me. Like,
this series is in Sandy's tree dome without its helmet, and it just will not give up. It's shriveling.
Yeah, it's that fucking meme of the skeleton at the bottom of the water or whatever. That's where SpongeBob is right now. Yeah. But no, I mean, that was definitely a really good episode, or a really good series.
Yeah. Well, I think we should make like a SpongeBob should have and start wrapping things up.
Sure.
Wrapping it up.
We're probably approaching an hour. I've not been keeping time or anything. But...
Yeah.
I mean, closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts are... They just don't make cartoons like they used to.
They really don't. Like,
they
a lot of them
don't. I agree.
A lot of them try too hard, I feel like. Or they aren't trying hard enough. And maybe that's just the, Gen Z / boomer in me. I'm just like...
No, I think you're hitting on something there. A lot of cartoons are either just corporate cash grabs or people trying to remake what they saw as the magic. of their childhood.
They're
And
like trying to go too deep with it. Like I would
uh,
say Adventure Time was like that start of the era of cartoons being geared towards more for adults, so they got more mature themes, which is fine. I'm not like bad mouthing
yeah,
Adventure Time. I love Gravity Falls. Like that's around that same era, but it's just one of those like there's a different feeling to those shows versus what was
yeah.
from like 2000 to probably 2008 or 9 or so. There was definitely a transition in there. So
I think the cartoons took a very similar path that the video games did, um, in terms of their prevalence throughout the ages or throughout time, if you will. Um, because, like, for instance, we were talking the other day on the podcast, as a matter of fact, about how a lot of video games nowadays they just feel like they just feel over processed, right? I think I was actually the one who said that, and I feel the same exact
Yeah.
way about cartoons
that's a
nowadays.
great
I
way
think
to put it.
they're incredibly processed. I think they're incredibly what's the word? There's no soul in them to put it frankly, put it bluntly. I mean, there's just no depth. There's no salt. There's no. It's just blah.
There's no
You know.
seasoning.
There's no. It's just yeah. It's like they made a fucking dish, a soup, and they didn't put any fucking seasoning in it, and so it's just bland as all get out. It's gross. Nobody wants to watch it, and they just. I don't know. I think genuinely you were onto something, Austin, talking about, or no, it was Joey. You were talking about how it's either nowadays it's either they're trying to do a remake of something or kind of go off of something that was already made, or they're just trying to do a quick cash grab, and
Mhm.
that seems to be kind of the dominant factor nowadays. And it's I don't know. I mean, for us, it's sad. I can't only imagine. I'll tell you who it really sucks for is the fucking kids growing up in this
Yeah,
generation now, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't know what it's like, and that's
yeah,
why I think it's hilarious whenever a lot of kids they like watch the cartoons that we grew up with, and they're like, you know, this is so cool, and I'm like, well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's fucking cool. It's
No
because it
kidding.
was back in the day when they actually gave a fuck about making cartoons, and now it's
We
just
had the internet when we
trash.
were young. We didn't use it the way kids do now. Like it is
yeah.
just like spoon fed to them content all the time, and so like they're desensitized to it all. If we
Oh yeah.
wanted to watch a show, we checked the TV guide and made sure that we would be there, you know?
Wait,
Yep.
y'all checked TV guides? I just hoped it was on.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't really check the TV guide. I was just like, oh, that looks cool. I'll stick with that.
I would check it at first, but then I started committing it to memory. I was
Right.
like, oh,
That's fair.
yeah, Code Lyoko's you got to be on at 3 or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah,
you would just know, and then after they're gonna play, Ed, Ed Nettie or something. I know those are two different things, but still, it's
No, you're on the mark. Those definitely would air back to back because they were both Cartoon Network at the same time.
that's true. That's true. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and you were a kid, right? And so that's kind of what you did. And so when you did that for so long, you get off school, turn the TV on, you put on cartoons, and you just kind of knew what was going to play, you know,
Yeah.
um, until either they dropped something or a new episode came out and then started becoming more popular, and then it would change a little bit. But I don't know.
Yeah, man. And like I said,
But
I
yeah,
don't want to badmouth a lot of these more recent cartoons because like I've watched like as recently I've watched Owl House, I've watched Amphibia, and they're great shows, and I think kids would enjoy them. It's just there's just something different there. And
yeah.
I say this as an adult that enjoyed those shows because they did get into very deep territories that were fun to watch. But it's just I don't know. There's not that with shows like that. There's not that stupid humor. I guess like Ed, Edd n Eddy. Like that's such a good example
Hmm.
of just like throw spaghetti at the wall and it fucking sticks somehow.
Yeah.
You
No,
bet
for
your sweet
real.
Peppy I did.
Yeah, you bet your sweet Peppy I did. Exactly.
So
Yeah, no.
I know we're trying to wrap up here, so I'll let you finish us off, Joey.
well, Honestly, I don't have any more final thoughts.
We took them all.
We took them all.
You took the thoughts right off the dome, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
We just said what needed to be said.
Said what needed to be said.
No more gas in the tank.
Well, unlike Samurai Jack, we can never get back to the past.
This is
But
so
I
true.
can hope we start making better cartoons in the future.
Man, I wish.
To give the current generation more options. There are still good cartoons, but like there's not as many as there were.
Right.
Or just show them ours. They're all on streaming.
Yeah, that's
Cartoon
fair.
Network is all
True.
on Max. Disney Channel has everything on Disney Plus, and then Nickelodeon, for the most part, is on Netflix or
Well,
Paramount Plus.
it's not all on Cartoon Network's not all on Max. They cut a lot of stuff because they shut down Cartoon Network, and now there's stuff that's just kind of gone.
Yeah, for a while it was
It's
on
lost
Max, but
media.
I bet
Yeah.
you are right. I bet there's quite a bit they've taken off for, demand
For
and whatnot.
No tax write-offs, just less money to hold that much stuff on your servers, blah blah blah. Some of it's probably lost media. I know Over the Garden Wall is really hard to find nowadays.
Yeah.
Just anywhere. Well,
Yeah.
legally, of course.
Right. Right.
Gotta get the DVDs and everything. So.
Make sure to
Okay, buddy.
bleep that out in post.
Bleeping's actually really hard, as I've learned.
I know, that's why I'm gonna keep saying, editor, bleep that out, even though you're the editor.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome, buddy.
He's time stamping it for you.
No, I'm
Perfect.
not. I have nothing to gauge that.
All G. Well, fellas, I thought this was a good talk, and
this was a great episode. I think we will see everybody in an indeterminate amount of weeks. Hopefully, one.
that's the goal.
We keep shooting for it, and it keeps ending up being 2.
Right. So we'll see. One day, perhaps, we'll get a little bit more consistent. But
Joey,
all right.
Joey, say podcast out.
Podcast? Out.